unbelievably beautiful day for some League of Legends. It's a very nice, like 50 degrees outside. I thought about giving a whole spiel about, it's this temperature outside, the weather's like partly cloudy, and the low today is going to be whatever, but I don't think that necessarily matters to esports since we're doing everything inside. So, thank you for joining us this evening for another Truman Esports competition in the NACE Varsity Premier Division, if I remember correctly, of League of Legends. Truman this evening is facing off against Stony Brooks University, the Sea Wolves. I'm very interested to see how this game goes. Pretty stark contrast in skill between some of these, or at least these two teams. So Truman for the starting roster is basically plat across the board. The only outlier is, of course, the jungler who does not have a rank yet. That's due to some issues with accounts and things like that. On the other side, of course, Stony Brook is sporting. I know there's an Emerald player, there's a Diamond player. The support is Challenger, and I believe there's a Masters player mixed in there somewhere. Of course, I don't have all those details in front of me. Usually I do, but unfortunately the semester's been so unkind to me that I haven't had time to gather such resources for myself. But tonight I'm looking forward to a very interesting game. I'm hoping Truman is going to take their second win this evening in this League of Legends division. Of course, if you missed out yesterday, there was only a singular stream for the Truman's purple team for Rocket League. They did lose 0-3, unfortunately, but it was a great set of games. If you have time, run over to the YouTube channel, or you can see it here on Twitch. You can watch the VOD back. And then, of course, tomorrow, Valorant will be playing at 6 p.m. Central, and we will also be having, hopefully, or there should be another game this Thursday for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Team. And then, of course, in the Saturday as well, there will be another League of Legends game in Silo. So looking at these teams here, very different compositions, I would say. Really only one true frontline for the side of SPU, whereas the side of Truman, you've got the Cho'Gath, you've got the Malzahar, or I'm sorry, not the Malzahar, you have the Sejuani. Pretty nice to have that synergy there. Of course, when you take that Sejuani, you usually want to have somebody that's going to be able to proc her passive pretty fast, or at least be able to help proc it. And the only thing that can help proc that passive is going to be a melee champion of some sort. So having the Cho'Gath allows Sejuani to actually function a little bit better. You've got the Malzahar for the lockdown, the Jinx Lulu. We haven't seen much of Bees playing Jinx this semester, and that's mainly because it's been banned out almost every single game, which is unfortunate because it's definitely one of the iconic picks for Bees. Horse on the Lulu there, going to be very interesting. Looking forward to this Truman team. I feel like it's more of a standard, from front to back style of gameplay, but hey, if it functions, it functions. On the side of SBU, we've got the Kennen, Kindred, Galio, Varus, and Pantheon. A very aggressive setup, in my opinion. Arguably, it's not too heavy on the AD, of course. Galio has the ability to flex into a bit of a tank for the team, which they'll definitely need. Pantheon also has the opportunity to go a little bit more of a bruiser, sacrificing some of that damage just to be able to tank a little bit more, which I expect that he will probably dip into a little bit towards the end of his build. Maybe get one of the, I forget what the name of the item is off the top of my head, but of course Kennen's going to be doing most of the AP damage for the team. Kindred is going to potentially be a threat if she gets those stacks up, and then Varus can really go either way depending on if he wants to build AP or AD. I'm expecting a double AD threat from the side of SBU, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to pull out the AP Varus. It just depends on what paths we see everybody take. Cho'Gath may end up building some magic resistance early, and in that case, we very well may see Varus go AD in that case. But still, you have a lot of a lot of AD damage on the side of SBU, just between the Kindred and the Varus, the potential to do all the AD and the Pantheon as well on top of it. So it's kind of a toss-up. On the other side, of course, Truman really has only one main output of AD damage. It's going to be that Jinx. Malzahar, of course, is going to be doing AP. Lulu, support, not going to be doing too much. The Sejuani, I believe, is mainly AP, although I could be incorrect. And then Cho'Gath, well known to be AP. Of course, he does have some true damage, which is going to balance that out a little bit, but you're not really looking for Sejuani or Cho'Gath to do too much damage. Of course, they'll do some, but you're really looking for that CC to carry you across the finish line. And I think that's kind of the strategy that Truman's got going into this. I'm looking forward to see this game. I'm looking forward to see Truman take a W to start game one here. I don't recall off the top of my head Truman starting with a win on the first game yet this season, so I'm hoping to see that actually happen tonight. Very much so looking forward to this. I'm going to go ahead and get the stream prepped for the actual start of the game. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and right into it now that I'm back here. Everything's looking nice and functional today. So let's see now. A very aggressive positioning here from SBU. Usually whenever you do this like 5-pronged watching your jungle entrances, you don't usually pull it out into the river. Typically you kind of just watch those, you just stand in the entrances. Of course, they have an aggressive position, and with characters like Pantheon or that Galio, who have the ability to CC pretty heavily early on, with a tandem two of those two, you could do a lot of damage and potentially get a very early kill. So I do think that method and that madness, that idea that they're going for is pretty, it has the potential to work really well. And you can actually see, ignoring what's happening on screen there, looking at that map, it did look like they got a deep ward onto Raptors of Truman. So we'll see how that influences the game here. Truman is in the bot lane there, looking in that bush to try to get the jump on the Varus, but they're going to show early. We'll have to see how this goes down. A little bit of trading back and forth. Nothing too major happening. Of course, that Cho'Gath matchup against that Cannon is not going to be very fun for Cho'Gath. There's going to be the engage from the Pantheon there. Gets a big combo. Also gets the Ignite off. There's going to be the heal flash from the Jinx, and that is going to be the Jinx down. First blood goes to SBU, and it costs them only 2 of their summoner spells there. Who is by herself and is going to struggle against those 2. How much poke they're going to be able to put out between the 2 of them. Of course, Pantheon getting that Q up with level 2 is going to spell a lot of danger on the side of Sherman and bot lane. Nice knock up onto that Kennen. Hopefully going to pick up a Cho'Gath. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say pick up a Cho'Gath stack, but taking some damage there. Aggressive play from the Pantheon does land the kill and manages to flash in and get it. For a second there, I thought Cho'Gath was going to have Grasp and going for the Grasp proc, but that is a Hail of Blades Cho'Gath. Not something that I was expecting. I don't know if that was a mistake or if that's just a build that I'm not familiar with in the top lane. So I guess we'll just have to see. I might have an opportunity to ask about it in between games to find out. Flash forward and going to be the kill confirm onto the Kennen. Does not die. Very, very smart, very effective play coming out from top there. Luma showing off. One more kill on the side of SBU is needed to get that first one of the 3 requirements to get the buff from Noxus here. That would be Feats of War is that very first one that'll come up once they have 3 kills. We'll see if they're actually able to manage it. There's a couple places where they could get it. This mid lane is looking a little bit rough, and there it is. There's the Feats of Warfare there for SBU. looking to pick up a 4th kill in the bot lane there. A lot of damage coming out from the bot lane. A little bit of a poke assistance from the jungler there. Going to put them in a decent position for this next dragon. They've got about a minute though, so Truman does have some time to reset, potentially take some space in order to defend this dragon. But we'll have to see if that's what they decide to do, or if they're going to prioritize something else across the map. A little bit of a bush cheese there, throwing a nice spear into the Jinx there. We see the charge of the Q there, going to land on Lulu, taking her down to half health with an auto as well. Potentially, it looked like there might have been a gank there, but that ward is definitely going to be dissuading that happening there. But it looks like we're going to see a tower dive onto Truman there. Out of the jungle, there's going to be the stun onto the Jinx, and there is going to be the 2nd kill picked up by the Kindred, actually. Counter ganking in the mid lane there, a little bit of damage going to go onto the Galio, but Galio's going to have the tools to survive it. That bonus of that magic shield is definitely going to spell the difference and is going to prevent Truman from getting the kill. And actually, he's going to dash forward and almost take the kill there, forcing the flash out of Melior in the mid lane. Does look like Pantheon's roaming around now. There's not that much of a threat. No real reason to be bot right now as Varus is getting ready to reset. This is going to be very interesting for this Kennen here. Loses half of his health bar, allowing Cho'Gath to get some more pressure set up. If I was Truman here in this situation, I'd be pathing towards top and try to get those grubs. There's going to be the Pantheon going into the jungle of Truman. Forced to dash out. Jungler's going to back up. It does look like they're going to be in a very aggressive position. Stealing Raptors is phenomenal for the side of SBU. Forcing Truman to have to reevaluate what they want to do on this bot side here. Definitely in a position where they're going to control everything on this bot side for this dragon. TP coming in from the Galio, heading mid. It does look like Kindred's actually going to be prioritizing those grubs first. Smart idea to do that, especially knowing that the Sejuani did have to reset with no vision on that objective at all. Truman is just going to be unaware that they're taking grubs at this very moment until somebody paths down. And it doesn't look like the Cho'Gath's going to be pathing down, but there's only going to be one grub left, and it is going to be taken by the Kindred. A freeze of the screen. That might be something I have to go fix. We'll see. Give it a couple more seconds. I'll have to go find out. There we go. Does dash over, forces out the ghost from the Cho'Gath. There's going to be the dash off from the Galio as well. They're going to pick up those grubs basically uncontested, and now they're going to be looking for that dragon. Another Kindred mark is going to be down there, and this Lulu is slightly out of position here. No flash on the Pantheon means that she's not going to be punished too hard for being out of position there, but Truman is in a dangerous position in this bot lane already. Landing the stun on that Cho'Gath, going to pick up a little bit of extra damage. Melior is still having a rough time trying to keep up with this Galio. Hard to zone him when he's got that shield and the ability to just get past your silence. Huge poke coming up from the Varus, making it almost impossible for Bees to play this bot lane right now. There aren't too many options. The CS is fairly even, only behind by 12 CS in that bot lane, but still with such a potent poke lane for the bot lane, it's just making it impossible for them to do much more other than just try and survive. Truman is going to lose their red buff there from the invade on the Kindred, and looks like they might be looking bot to catch them unaware. 1v1 here. There's going to be the stun going on to the Cho'Gath. There's a fight on Raptors there. The Kindred's out of position. She's going to get stunned by that passive. The Galio is going to show up. The flash over the wall is going to spell the end of the Sejuani. She is going to pick up her 2nd kill of the game. The dash forward and the dash over the wall Kindred's going to get hit by the Malzahar R, but it's not going to do enough damage, potentially. No, the burn is not going to finish her off, picking up the double kill on Truman. And Cho'Gath dying under tower there from the stun. Unfortunate. Potentially another freeze here. I'm not sure what's going on here. We shouldn't have any of these connection issues. We're streaming directly, but not certain. Give it just a couple more seconds. I'll go investigate what's happening here. I'm not certain why the stream is just bugging out like this.